Patagonia. Not a place to be conquered, but a place to be humbled by.
The nature here is so wild and untouched.
Isn't that beautiful?
We were here to make a dream come true. We were a group of friends, strangers, and misfits bound by one simple thing: running. Our plan was to run through the heart of this wild and mythical landscape, crossing 235 kilometers through Argentina and Chile. Before we got a chance to put on our running shoes, Patagonia gave us a once-in-a-lifetime glimpse of just what she is capable of.
Oh my gosh! That's gonna knock the other bit out, surely.
Every magnet of this place has the iconic Perito Moreno Glacier arch on it, and we just witnessed it collapse. From the offset, Patagonia was making a statement. She's in charge round here. We had a long drive north to our start point, and we were barely getting going when the locals wondered what on earth we were doing.
Yo lo que nada, me da cosa dejarlo ahí porque
Yo solo me comentaba que vamos a llegar capaz a 1 kilómetro alto de estar, no podemos dejarlo ahí.
No, por eso no, yo ya los dejé antes, 2 kilómetros y medio antes.
Pero digo, no porque si
Nada, quedan ahí, ¿viste?
Quedamos
Más
ahí.
cerca son los 2 kilómetros y medio que hay que caminar para llegar a la gendarmería.
After an 11-hour drive through Argentina, our bus driver was bewildered as to why we wanted to be dropped off in the middle of nowhere. This wasn't your average holiday.
Everyone has their passports on them?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. If you don't, you need your passport on you?
We knew the logistics of this trip would be intense, weaving in and out of countries, across borders, but we were as ready as we'd ever be. It was time to see what Patagonia had in store for us. Passports packed, we began our journey on foot.
I'm really sorry, mate.
All except from John, who had left his passport 11 hours south in El Calafate. So he had to turn back, and we went on without him. Up ahead, the rest of us reached a border crossing into Chile, where our bags were due to be collected and driven over.
So the guys at the border have just told us that we can't get the van to come pick up all of our bags because there's not a customs desk here, and so all the bags would have to be checked through. So instead we have to walk, march, drag all of our bags 11 kilometers to the other side of the border to Chile. And there's quite a lot of bags. It's going to be a longer day than expected, I think.
4 hours later, we finally reached the vehicle we'd been waiting for, and our new Chilean friend Pascual. Whilst in Chile, he would be our guide. Crossing from Argentina to Chile took so much longer than anticipated. We missed the last ferry of the day to take us over to Rio Bravo. So, we hunkered down for the night on the water's edge, wondering if we'd ever start the running that we came here for.
To make matters worse, the ferry company are doing works on one of the ferries so that the 8 a.m. ferry didn't leave. So we're getting the 10 a.m. ferry, and then the runners get to start their run towards El Chaltén and Fitzroy finally. But because we're setting off at 11, they've got to do 50k before nightfall. It's going to be really tough.
So we're going to do 50 kilometres, followed by 50 kilometres tomorrow to Villa O'Higgins. Tend to try and break 50 kilometres up into 4 12.5s. Doesn't sound so bad. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
The Patagonian wind in our hair, sun on our faces, and earth underfoot that we'd been dreaming of was finally a reality. Some of us had done things like this before. Others hadn't. Everyone had different reasons for being here. This trip was Claudio's vision. For him, coming back to his homeland was truly special.
I left Argentina when I was 15, right? My family emigrated to the United States. And, you know, for the past 30 plus years, I lived in New York. And I get to come to Argentina to visit family, but really only once a year, once every 2 years, right? So, you know, it's every time I come here and see my family or bring my family, you know, my wife and kids, and have, you know, my daughters understand how special this country is. So I did a lot of running in my life, and I always wanted to come back to my country. You know, this is where it all began for me, right? I left my country early, you know, I was young. But I always love, you know, coming back, especially this area. I've never been in this area, you know, so this is truly emotional. It's truly, truly special.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
I expected it to be a lot worse, so I hung on to a group. Just kept moving, run for a couple of minutes, walk for a minute. Just when I've got 30 miles a day in me. It's long, But yeah, it's not 30 miles, it's 7.5 miles. I think because I was a heavy smoker up until I was 40, all these guys are under 40, a lot of them are under 40. See, they're achieving that stuff now. I missed out on all that. And so I'm just trying to pick up a few bits and bobs, things that I should have done 25, 30 years ago.
Wow, I mean, young people, it's fine, but there are as well aged people, but aged in the body, not here. You know, it's really wonderful to see, for example, guys of 50, 60, and then still running 50 kilometers a day. Not everyone do that, huh? I think it is a wonderful idea to do this and trying to connect Chile and Argentina together by running. Oh, it's really very good.
A day hauling luggage through no man's land was no preparation for a 50 kilometers run, and it was starting to take its toll on our bodies.
I've had better days. I fell yesterday with all my kit and did my ankle, so now I'm hobbling.
Yesterday wasn't very helpful for my toe.
Running 50 kilometers is never easy, but something about the Patagonia landscape just keeps you moving.
Day by day you realise a lot more of it is to do with being next to people and like chatting away, and then the miles suddenly go past and you run a bit, you might walk a bit, but you get to the next stop and you're like, oh my god, we made it, you know, you're here already, and it's like 12k's gone or 15k's gone.
That last stretch coming into camp came around the corner and it just opened up into this massive lake, and on one side was this snow-covered mountain and that side was like jungle-covered mountain. And then we came around the corner into this camp, the tents are up, there's horses walking around it. I'm just gobsmacked and it's day one. Like there's more to come.
The Garden of Eden is before us. Oh, that was a special kind of awful.
I'm sore. It was a long day. The last section was harder for me. Bit sore, happy to be in camp though. Just want to get some food and then get a good night's sleep, I think. Before another 50k tomorrow!
A night under a glacier made for a good night's sleep, but unfortunately it didn't heal all our ailments.
I felt my back go late last night, slept on it, woke up this morning, it was still painful, and I said I'll walk the first leg with the other guys walking. When I came in, everyone was offering me a seat and a jacket, and it was beautiful. Everyone is there for you, and everyone sort of has open arms no matter what. I feel like I'm growing every day, and that's part of the reason I want to, and I like setting myself new challenges. Previous challenges haven't been as sort of exciting and epic and something I could sign up to, as it were, but they have been getting myself back between COVID and being a key worker, and then my grandma passing away and having to look after her. I really didn't have time to do much. She was probably my best friend, the one person in my family that knew pretty much everything about me. I think there's part of me that is, you know, every time I go on a long run, or every time I turn a new corner and see a new view, it's sort of, there's a bit of mourning and a bit of grief, but also a bit of reflection.
We all have our reasons for falling in love with running. Somehow the simplicity of moving one foot in front of the other has a healing power.
It's been difficult, especially last 18 months. Following some races, I had a bit of a heart issue. That I had 2 MRIs, 7 ECGs, a CAT scan. When I was told it was a heart attack, I knew that was potentially game over. So to be able to come away on this trip, it's like I've been given a new, without being too cliche, a new lease of life to be able to move again.
Us, our 2 feet, and nature, simply perfect. After being surrounded by nothing but trees and wildlife for days, thoughts of fine Argentinian wine filled our thoughts as the kilometers ticked down.
Cheers. We made it.
It's been a long time since I've heard that much. We have Malbec, good company, fine weather just now. Just need a little bit of dinner and all shall be grand.
Yeah. We have arrived in Villa O'Higgins. We have been greeted by this beautiful campsite with white mountains all around. We're here in Villa O'Higgins because that's where we can get the ferry that links up Chile and Argentina. And we were supposed to be getting one tomorrow morning, but it's cancelled because there's storms raging across the water, and the Coast Guard have said no boats are allowed to travel. So we have got a rest day here. Fingers crossed that the ferry decides it can leave the next day. Otherwise, there could be big problems.
There is something very important you have to learn before arriving in Patagonia. When you hurry up in Patagonia, you waste time. Because the weather is who is saying what time you're leaving. The wind is very tough sometimes. Sometimes we have, like now, we have already passed 4 or 5 days without moving from here because no boats can go anywhere because of the wind. The wind is too tough. And when it is like that, it's not safe. And if it's not safe, we don't do it, and this is it. Closest hospital is 567 kilometers away. Nothing can happen to you here. That's Patagonia, man. It's wild.
Across the water, Patagonian nature were causing chaos with huge waves and icebergs, and we were restless to keep moving.
We have some news. The ferry is on! Yay!
Daniel, who owned the campsite and happened to pilot the ferry too, had the news we'd been waiting for. The port was open. So we headed to bed ready for a 5 a.m. wake-up call.
The Marine just called saying that Pascual is not going, we're not going, nobody's moving because of the bad weather. That look is 4 meters wave.
Really? Fuck.
4 meters wave is impossible to sail.
Nicky boy?
Yeah.
Did you hear what Daniel was saying?
What's going on?
There's no boats sailing. There's 4-meter waves. And sounds like no boats tomorrow.
I see.
Once again, Patagonia reminded us that we're on her terms. We had no choice but to wait another day, hoping soon the weather would clear.
We have begged, borrowed and stolen as much as we possibly can, and we finally have a ferry. We think 7 a.m. tomorrow, so the team will get up at 4:30 and start running down with the hope that it's all going to go ahead.
It's currently 5:11 in the morning, and the ferry leaves maybe 7, maybe 7:30.
Finally, as the sun began to rise, it felt like our adventure was starting again.
It's been a difficult few days. When we're moving forward, and I think that's the thing that gets to people. And when we were crossing the bridge, just looked left, and there was a perfectly framed sunrise. And it was just at the right time. It was almost like it was fated, and you could just feel everybody's spirits lift.
We are finally heading to Argentina to do some running on the Argentina side, and I am very excited.
The port was open, and along with other travelers who'd been stuck in Villa O'Higgins, we were moving again.
I mean, it was a bit rough still. But he did warn us about that. He said, if you didn't believe in God before, you will now. We're in Argentina!
At last we could continue our journey, but we'd become accustomed to the fact that we were at the mercy of Patagonia, and what could happen next was still a mystery.
We just have a bumpy ride on the boat. Now we have to do passport control in Chile. And at some point we're waiting for some donkeys or horses or something, but we don't really know at this point. Who knows?
Buen viaje, bon voyage, good trip, good race.
Boy, did it feel good to move again, and with Fitzroy beginning to peep into view, we were on the home straight.
So whenever I'm running along on my own, to try and keep my mind moving, and to keep my body moving, I'll either count 1, 2, 3, up to maybe 200 if I can, unless I hit a hill. And the other thing I do is I recite the ode to a haggis by Robert Burns. Roaring treasure, there you fill your hubbies like a distant hill. Your pen would help to mend a mill in time of need, and through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. His knife to rustic labour dicht, and cut you up with ready slicht, trenching your gushing engine.
Brian's entertainment kept us moving, but yet again, it looked like we were in danger of missing our next ferry.
We have just done the border crossing, and now we are rushing, really, in order to make the only other ferry so that we can get to our campsite. And if we miss that, then we're carrying everything for the following 12k, 15k after that.
So, it was full steam ahead to the ferry. We were in the Patagonian wilderness now, no roads, no cars, just us and our feet. Our bags had been taken to the road's end and were due to be collected by Pascual on horseback.
What's going on? We found all our stuff.
Just randomly plonked under
Don't
the
know
tree.
why it's here. Actual
In the no man's land between Argentina and Chile.
Oh, yeah, this.
Pascual appeared with less horses than we expected.
So we get off the ferry, that's fine, and then we had to walk till the road was over. Then it's a lovely trail path we had to do. We were supposed to have many horses to help us with the luggage, but somehow some horses got lost and they have less horses than we expected. What can possibly go wrong? It will go wrong.
Trekking with our bags was no easier the second time. Patagonia had thrown obstacles in our path and slowed us down. We were going at her pace. She reminded us to appreciate each step and consider our place in the world. Of course, we missed the ferry, but looking out to Fitzroy, we swam, talked, laughed, and soaked up everything Patagonia gave to us as we neared the end of our journey.
It has been a difficult 3 years. Main challenges I've had have been mental health, very severe, PTSD. But I've always known that running was good for my health. Since I was ill and had a couple of injuries, I completely lost my mojo when it came to running. But I knew I needed to get it back because the health benefits is just so clear. It is quite extraordinary. I normally take medication morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, evening, and then the big nighttime days. On this trip, I'm only taking the morning and the nighttime. So during the day, when we're active, I'm not feeling anxious, I'm not feeling depressed, I'm not feeling like I need to isolate myself, and I'm not feeling like I need to take medication. And that kind of confirms everything that I think I know about what I need to do to get better. I need to surround myself with love and kind people. I need to look after myself, and I need to run.
The frustrations of not being able to move forward at times made those moments when we could move again even sweeter. Not having everything our own way somehow made life richer. Thankfully, there were no more ferries to catch. As we ran towards Fitzroy, our finish line, we found ourselves wishing for another missed ferry, another day enjoying each other's company. We'd even carry our bags back to Chile to extend this feeling.
Oh my God, this is incredible. I mean, look at that. This is just, what the heck? Isn't that beautiful?
It's all the time thinking, how do I bottle this and make this like continue? You know, I want to not just think, oh, I want to remember this. It's like, I don't just want to remember it. I want to kind of make this a continued way of life. Like, I think too many of us live with the stress and think that that's acceptable or think that that's normal. And it's like, we don't have to have that because life now is too important, basically.
That like teetering on the edge moment of, I'm terrified, but it's fun. That's where the magic happens.
We came to explore Patagonia and to see her natural beauty. The obstacles she put in our way slowed us down and gave us time to explore a deeper meaning. Patagonia showed us the beauty of the simple life.
No sueñes tu vida, vívela. Don't dream your life, live it.
I've run across Patagonia.
Can I get out? No!
Then, when we get there, hopefully, a Chilean car will be on the other side. It's not like, assuming this goes well, it's actually a pretty chill, cool day.
Rub it into my head.
There's 4 of us. We have an Argentina, Mexican, and Spanish. And this looks like the start of a joke. Okay.
Have fun.
Good, man. Enjoy, mate. All right.
Something like